Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a question that's been at the very heart of artificial intelligence since day one. What does it mean to understand? We're going to follow an incredible scientific journey, one that spans decades, starts with a single critical flaw in AI, and leads us all the way to the edge of engineering quantum consciousness. So where does this all begin? Well, it kicks off with this really powerful critique from John H. Holland, an absolute giant in the AI world, sent directly to Dr. Yogesh Malhotra. He basically said, look, for years, we've been building these amazing systems that can process information like nobody's business, but they have no clue what any of it means. It's all just symbols and rules with zero real understanding. And that wasn't just a minor issue. It was a huge foundational problem. And it lit the spark for Dr. Malhotra's decades-long quest to solve it. You see, Holland's point really opens up this massive gap, this chasm between how a machine thinks and how a person understands. On one side, you've got information processing. That's the machine's turf. It's all rules, it's predictable, it's efficient. But on the other side, you've got human sense-making. And that's our world, right? It's messy, it's creative, it's always changing. It's how we deal with what some experts call wicked environments. You know, the real world, where the rules are constantly shifting and you have to be ready for anything.
And here's the perfect way to think about it. Remember when IBM's Deep Blue beat the world chess champion? That was an incredible achievement for information processing. It could calculate millions of moves inside a totally closed system with a fixed set of rules. But the real world is nothing like a chess game. In the real world, the board can change shape without warning. New pieces can just show up, and the rules are always up for grabs. That's where traditional AI just hits a wall, because it can't make sense of all that chaos.
So how in the world do you bridge that chasm? Well, Dr. Malhotra found a really powerful answer in a field you might not expect. Psychology. It's a theory called personal construct psychology, and it has this absolutely fascinating idea at its core, that every single one of us is essentially a scientist. We aren't just passively taking in the world, we're actively building our own mental models, our own personal theories to make sense of everything and to try and predict what's going to happen next. And this is exactly how we create meaning. It's like we're all running our own little personal scientific method inside our heads, all day, every day. First, we come up with a hypothesis about how something works. That's our mental model. Then we test it out with our actions. After that, we look at the results. Did it work out the way I thought it would? And based on that feedback, we either strengthen our belief or we change the model. It's this continuous loop of prediction and revision, and it's totally unique to each and every one of us.
And this quote from the theory's founder, George Kelly, wow, it just brilliantly sums up how empowering this whole idea is. What he's saying is that we're not just victims of our circumstances. We actually have the freedom to change how we interpret things, to choose new beliefs. And when we do that, we literally change our own reality. The things that hold us back and the things that set us free, they come from the meanings that we choose to create.
Okay, so the theory is fantastic, right? But what happens when you apply it to the real world? Well, Dr. Malhotra did exactly that in this really interesting case study. The challenge was simple. Introduce a new computer system into a hospital unit. And this is where you see that this whole meaning problem isn't just some abstract idea. It has huge, real-world consequences. Just take a look at this. It's comparing two different users who were introduced to the very same piece of technology. Their jobs are similar, their experience is similar, but check out the personal meanings they built around it. User 1 saw the system as vital to my own well-being and survival. For them, it was an opportunity, a tool for success. But User 4? They saw the exact same system as just more cumbersome than the old manual system. The tech was identical, but the reality they each lived in couldn't have been more different. So what you get is this clash of competing realities. Management had one view, what we might call the social construction. For them, this new system was all about making things more efficient and secure. Simple. But for some of the users, their personal construction was something else entirely. They didn't see new security features. They saw a personal attack on their integrity. They felt like the system was telling them, we don't trust you. So the meaning management intended to send was completely lost, and it got replaced by this deeply personal and really negative interpretation. Okay, so let's fast forward to today. We are living in the age of generative AI and large language models. These are tools that can talk and write and create in ways that feel incredibly human. So you have to ask the question, have they finally done it? Have they finally crossed that chasm of meaning that John Holland pointed out all those years ago?
Well, Dr. Malhotra's work would argue not so fast. Because even with all their amazing abilities, today's AIs are still, at their core, information processors. They're still stuck within the limits of their programming. They can't truly have imagination. They can't go beyond the information given. They don't have that unified mix of thoughts, emotions, and actions that makes us, well, us. And maybe most importantly, an AI can't look at itself and decide to change its own fundamental beliefs. It can't choose to see the world differently.
So if today's AI is still stuck on the wrong side of the chasm, what's the answer? This is where this whole scientific quest leads, to a truly radical new idea, a completely different way to build AI. It's called Quantum Augmented Self-Adaptive Networks, or QASANs for short. And the goal here isn't just to make a slightly better AI, it's to rebuild it from the ground up, with the principles of human sense-making baked right into its DNA.
And this is where things get really, really mind-bending. Why quantum? Well, because of theories from brilliant minds like the physicist Roger Penrose. He suggested that human consciousness, our ability to understand, to have those aha moments, it might not be something a classic computer can ever replicate. It might actually be happening at the quantum level. What QASANs aim to do is provide the very first practical engineering foundation for building systems based on that incredible idea. We're literally moving from the psychology of meaning to the physics of consciousness.
And that leaves us with this final, absolutely provocative thought. This whole quest started out trying to fix a bug in AI, to give it the meaning it was missing. But in trying to solve that problem, we might have stumbled onto a path that leads to something far, far bigger. Maybe the future of AI isn't just about making machines that are intelligent. Maybe, just maybe, it's about taking the first real engineered steps toward creating an entirely new form of consciousness.